Thought Bubble Audio.
Look, up in the sky!
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Welcome to Beer with Geeks with Tim and Frank.
Who are you?
I'm Batman.
I am Iron Man.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Hi, Christopher. I'm Nero.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
You're a wizard, Harry.
A couple of guys with a couple of beers and a whole lot of pop culture nostalgia.
Make it so, number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
Named the dog Indiana.
Life finds a way.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Now sit back and crack open a cold one, because it's time for Beer with Geeks.
It comes in paints.
Shaken, not stirred.
Great Scott!
I was way off. I knew it started with an S, though.
Hi, and welcome to Beer with Geeks, where two geeks geek out with beer. I'm Tim, and with me, as always, is my man who only wears pink on Wednesdays. It's Frank. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm drowning in a sea of bad, decent movies.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
I don't know.
It's like, oh no, Frank, you just told me you were okay.
Now you're drowning?
This is not the time to unload. Like, you had that time right before I
before we hit record. Come on.
Yeah, this is the mask time.
Oh yes. Yes.
No, Frank. We are here to bombard you with mediocrity.
Yes. Quite.
Yeah. So, but before we do that, Frank, what are you drinking today?
I'm drinking I think I've had this before on the show, probably last winter, or Smuttynose Wood Chop Chocolate Stout.
That's cool. I like the can.
It's cool. It's a cool can. Yeah. It's got the chocolate bar. You got their logo at the seal.
Seal looks good.
And you can't really see it, but there's a bunch of trees and snow falling in the background. Wood chop.
Yeah. Beautiful. You have snow on the ground right now?
Yeah, it was from like a week ago, and it still hasn't melted.
Ours is in the process of melting right now. Because we had a lot, and then the rainstorm is kind of washing it away, because it's like just at the cusp of it's 33 degrees, so that it's not going to really snow. But then it'll shift and then it'll wash away again. But it's all good.
Yeah, we haven't had that rain to wash it away, so it's just
yeah. I was telling somebody today that it's funny how your dreams change over time.
Sure.
Because or your nightmares even, because when I was a kid, I did distinctly remember having a nightmare about my brother turning into a werewolf and chasing us through this creepy fairground, big Ferris wheel,
wow,
stuff, the whole shebang. And a couple of nights ago, I had a nightmare that my basement was flooding because my sub pump wasn't working.
Oh,
I'm like, how times have changed.
Jeez, yeah, that's oof. That's
arguably,
different.
Which one is worse?
Honestly, it's the sump pump. Yeah.
Yeah. My brother turning into a werewolf and chasing me, that's not expensive.
Exactly. Yeah.
That nightmare is free.
Free nightmares.
Yeah. My deductible, my copay will take care of the hospital.
I know. Where's my homeowner's insurance copay?
Oh, it's nuts. It's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, I am drinking a Lagunitas Brewing Company Hoppy Refresher, which is their sparkling hop water, if you can believe it.
Oh, hop water. Okay, yeah.
Their hop water. I was just curious. I didn't really feel like a beer tonight, but I wanted something that tastes like a beer. So
there you go.
There we go.
Does it taste like hops? My wife actually has a few cans of hop water, not Lagunitas, but I don't know which brand.
This one doesn't taste like hops. It's got a citrusy quality to it.
Okay.
So
is it like a citrus flavor?
Yeah, it is a citrus flavor. So this one says, well, I'm going to cough into the microphone first.
Oh, please, directly into it. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, we don't get to hear the cough. Oh well.
And I put it on mute. I'm better at that than I should be. So, it is a 0 alcohol splashed with citrusy zing. This will float your boat any time of any day. 0 ale, 0 calories, 0 carbs, with a big splash of flavor, with crisp, zingy, and hoppily refreshing. What's in a name? Nothing and everything. Dive in.
I always forget.
But it is made with hop extract, so it should have some kind of hop to it.
Yeah. I since I heard of this as a category, I just assumed that it had alcohol, right? And I keep forgetting that it doesn't. Like when Marissa brought some home, I was like, "Oh, what's the ABV?" And she's like, 0. There's nothing. I was like, "But there's hops." Like what? There's the. Obviously, one does not. That's a correlation, not causation situation.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I guess it's. I mean, hops before they turn. Like maybe it's like the hops, like there are certain places you can go and you can just like dive into a bunch of hops and swim around. It's like those hops.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe not the ones people are actually diving into.
Probably not, but yeah.
But you never know.
You never know.
I could be drinking somebody's dive hops.
Wow, dive hops. That's.
It sounds like that's a pretty decent bar name.
That is a pretty decent. Yeah, dive hops.
Yeah, dive hops.
Yeah.
I like it. Frank, now, upon reflecting on my drink, I should have been having a Guinness, actually, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Product placement.
Oh, I see.
Frank, I saw Aquaman search for the lost kingdom of the Circle of Destiny, treasure, something, whatever it's called.
Dial of Destiny, Dial of the Kingdom.
That's the one. Yeah, Aquaman and the Dial of Destiny.
Yeah.
Nailed it. No, I saw Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Hilariously, I saw it 5 days before it was released digitally.
Nice.
I saw it in theater.
Good job.
5 days before they released it digitally.
I mean, why not? I bet it was an empty theater.
Yeah, right. Well, I said I was gonna. All of a sudden, I was gonna wait, and I was like, but it's actually now cheaper for me to see it in the theater and not be interrupted, so I can watch it in one sitting on a big screen. So it made more sense to actually go to the theater.
Totally. Yeah, that makes total sense.
And here's what I'm going to say to you, because I know you haven't seen it, so I'm going to spoil it for you anyway, because I know you don't care. I had a lot of fun. It was really good, and you should watch it.
Really? That's not what I was expecting you to say.
Yeah, I actually had an extraordinary amount of fun. Now, it's one of those movies where you're like, just don't think about it. Just
right.
Roll with what's happening.
Sure. Yeah.
Much like the first one.
That is assumed. Yeah. After seeing the first one, that's just a given.
Listen, if you're not rolling with they're talking underwater and it's all fine, then you really can't say you're on board with the rest of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to be there for that first thing and just kind of roll with it. And it's definitely a movie of here's the quick narrative version where they're moving from one thing to the next thing and then the movie's over.
Oh, okay.
It's we're not here for subtext.
Gotcha. So is it very to the point and very like, this is the plot, this is what we're doing? Oh no, we have to get the MacGuffin.
Pretty much, yeah. But sometimes that really annoys me.
Yeah.
Especially in that really annoys me in comic book movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm like, these characters are more, but sometimes it's good to go in and like turn off your brain.
Sure.
And that's really what I got to do here. And it was like surprisingly emotional in particular ways. Cause I'm a sucker for like things that have to do with being dad now.
Same.
And that's partly what this movie is. It's like, like it starts off with his opening narration again. He's like, I'm king of the 7 seas and blah, blah, blah. But I'm also learning how to be a dad. Oh, yeah. And it's just him with his like 6-month-old, like for a good chunk of the movie. And so not like he's not with him all the time, but it's like pretty relatable dad stuff.
Sure.
And I just, yeah, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I'm sorry. You should finish your thought.
No, I didn't have. I mean, I'm like Aquaman. It's thin.
Okay.
So.
I was going to say, so is becoming a parent, becoming a father, is that one of the major themes?
So when I said that it's thin, so this is what I kind of like.
Major themes is giving it a lot of credit.
You're like, oh, okay, so this is like the narrative thrust of what we're going for. He's going to like learn how to be a dad and everything. Like, it's just there's going to be some funny dad stuff in there.
Gotcha.
And he's going to be like, Dad, I don't know how you did it. Like, I'm spoilers all the way through for Aquaman.
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry if you want to see it, but from here on out. But so like, so he's like, he's talking to his dad. He's like, Dad, I'm like, crazy that you did this as a single parent. Like Mara and I are doing this together, and
Right.
it's so hard. And he's like, yeah, son, sometimes you just like, you just do things and, and you don't think about it. I'm like, right on. That's like true parenting stuff. Like, yeah, that is absolutely all the way true.
Yep.
And then I was like, okay, so like, so Mara's probably going to die. Right? Because like, I'm thinking like, oh man, like, like he's talking about single parenting and like all the stuff. That's crazy. Does Mara die? No, she does not.
Oh, okay.
No, no. She's actually she's in a surprising amount of it. Actually.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, she doesn't literally have like a story, but she does cool Mara things, and they're like, we love each other, and like, there's no issue with their love. There's no like anything. They're just like supportive, happy couple.
I see. Okay.
And it's just like, so I'm like, oh, I was wrong. So then I was like, oh man, well maybe like, so then at a different point, I was like, well, maybe like his dad's going to die. Right. Because he's like having these bonding moments with his father.
Right.
And, like those always end up with like people, dying the last time. Like,
sure.
That doesn't happen either.
Sure. Okay. Why would it? Yeah.
Why would it? So he does get hurt though, just so we're clear. Like,
okay.
At some point. So, but then like it does the comic book thing where like Black Manta takes the kid, right? In the 80s.
I'm like, so where's the conflict?
So there's conflict. So so Black Manta does take the kid.
Okay.
So basically, there are all these different kingdoms under the sea, right? Under the sea.
Yeah, King Triton and
these different kingdoms. Yeah, okay. But there's a secret one that we didn't know about. Ooh, the Lost Kingdom, as you can imagine, right?
Yes.
It's like called like Necros or something like that.
So good. So it's about death.
Dead people.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And so like they were so evil or whatever that they got stricken from the books. Get out of here. They did like bad magic and turned themselves into, the king turned them into zombies or whatever. So
okay,
it's all cool. And so like they're like so basically they're frozen, and this kingdom is frozen in the Arctic or in Antarctica or something like that. But because of global warming, they're melting.
Okay.
So, which I actually kind of liked. I was like, that's actually like they were supposed to say frozen forever, but that didn't happen because the surface world is an awful place.
Right.
Like, right on.
Got it. So they get broken out of the Phantom Zone.
Kind of, yeah. Well, sort of. So actually, it's more like a race against time to stop them from getting broken out. And so instead of like we're an army of the undead, like coming for you, it's more like we have to stop Black Manta, who has been possessed by the like trident of this like witch king.
Okay,
basically to like
with that one sentence, you're starting to lose me.
Yeah,
the trident of the witch king.
Witch king. Yeah, he's just. I mean, it's like underwater. Like the same like Aquaman underwater hokey where they're like, it's magic. And, somebody's like, it's not actually magic. It's this. It's like,
yeah.
It's like DNA scanning or something like that. Like, and you're like, yeah, all right, whatever. So you're back in it. It's DNA scanning. So,
sure.
So anyway, they need like the blood of either Aquaman Orm or Aquaman's son to like open the DNA scanner basically to unleash the thing. And so like that's where Black Manta, he takes the kid, and in the comics the kid dies, which is because the 80s are horrible, and so on. Right. So you're like, obviously that's not going to happen in this movie that children are going to see, but that's like then part of the conflict. But there's like no like lesson learned there or whatever else as far as fatherhood is concerned. But Aquaman does have like actually a well-rounded character arc in here, which I appreciated, because like where the real conflict of the movie comes from, apart from like Black Manta and the MacGuffin-y part of things, is for Orm and Arthur to reconcile in some ways.
Sure.
Because they have to find Black Manta, race against the clock. They're like, well, there's one person who did work with him who probably knows where we can find him. Guess who it is? It's Orm. So, they have to go and release Orm and blah, 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 blah. But they do it stealthily because,
of course,
he's being held captive for reasons and whatever else, so on and so on and so forth from there. But it's more about, if you remember from Aquaman more than anything else, remember that he like lets Black Manta's dad die in the submarine crash. Do you remember that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Vaguely. So like that's Black Manta's whole thing. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you killed my father. You know, like he was like, let the sea decide, or you know, like whatever. And so it's more about Arthur like taking responsibilities for his own actions and like attempting to save people instead of letting them, you know, instead of letting them die or whatever. So it's actually more like, this isn't just how I become a king, but this is how I become a hero who doesn't kill people.
Right.
It's actually
Okay.
like the real through line of it is that like I'm here to protect, not to hurt. And that was like, I appreciated that as like the movie's kind of like central core.
That is a good main thrust for a superhero film. Like,
it is. Yeah. Because it's like because part of the conflict with like Arthur and Orm at one point, Arthur's like, listen, I don't know what you think, but I did not come to Atlantis because I wanted your job. I hate being king. It's the worst. Like, I'm not good at it. Everyone hates me, and like so on and so like, and like I didn't do this because like I wanted it. I did this because like you were hurting people, and you shouldn't hurt people, and that's why I do it. And you're like, that's really good. Like,
right.
I really like that.
I'm down with that.
Yeah. And so the rest of the movie has this like real like adventuring like Ray Harryhausen, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Indiana Jones-esque quality that like the first one had, but it like leans into the, I guess like the Ray Harryhausen-ness
Okay.
of it.
It
like,
does.
A lot of the design work is like that. Like there's actually one point where there's like mechanical octopus like things like are actually like jittering up a wall, but it looks like it's doing it in stop motion.
That's kind of cool.
It was like really cool, and I as like a, I guess like a fan of genre movies.
Yes,
like even like older genre movies, like it really did remind me of like Jason and the Argonauts or you know, Clash of the Titans or something like that. And I just like, so I had a lot of fun with it. Like I think it was maligned because it was the DCEU.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably not going to be good because, you know, it wasn't Man of Steel.
Sure.
Or Zack Snyder's Justice League. Or,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. That's really interesting. I was not expecting this this review from you. And yeah, I guess it did. Yeah, its reputation was already, the first one was fine. I mean, honestly, it sounds a lot like it was on par with the first one.
Yeah, I liked this one. It like leaned into the kind of the zaniness of the underwater world a little bit more.
I can get down with that.
The first one I feel like played it a little safe.
Okay.
For some of it, and this one like was like, hey, this is my octopus who's coming on a mission with me.
Okay, all right.
And you're like, you know, like that's, and like he's like, this is a stupid idea. Like, whose idea was it for me to take the octopus? And so, well, he's been like, you know, he can like do stuff, so he's gonna go with you. And you're like, yes,
see,
I'm kind of on board for this.
That is, I actually always enjoy Aquaman comics that sort of where he doesn't take himself too seriously, or where the whole thing is a little bit of a joke. I tend to really enjoy that style and those sort of that take on Aquaman.
I just really like, I do enjoy that, like, the Atlanteans don't think that their world is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But Arthur does.
Yes.
Because he's not still really of their world.
Sure.
And so it is really funny. They're like, nope, this is totally normal.
It's just Tuesday.
It's just Tuesday, right? Yeah. So, and they like, you know, like the stuff that like Black Manta's harvesting is like polluting the water and the air and stuff.
Yeah.
And like to release the king, so they're like speeding up global warming.
I see.
To release this army, but like it also like mutates animals and bugs and stuff on the island that they're in. So it's also got like this like journey to the center of the earth quality to it at some points, or like the Lost World quality that you're like Arthur Conan Doyle version, not the Steven Spielberg version.
Yes.
Not the Jurassic Park one. But so yeah, it's just like if you enjoyed like the first one for its like, and now they're on for an adventure and there are dinosaurs in the middle of the planet, who cares? Like, then you'll like this one too. But it like leans more into like 50s like Greek myth movies, but also like old school sci-fi.
Yeah. Okay.
Like B science fiction.
It sounds like a fun movie to watch on my TV at home.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it on the big screen, but I probably would have
no doubt.
I would have enjoyed it on my TV in the same way. There wasn't much in it that I was like, wow, what an amazing detailed shot that I needed to see. But that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's okay. Yeah. I just but I enjoyed it. And I mean it's like it's 2 hours, so it like moves at like
that's good.
It moves at a clip, and that's 2 hours with credits, so like
nice.
You know, so I can see, like, because it is like the end of the DCEU. It's you know, like, what is it? When Man of Steel came out in 2013. So it's so it's 10 years of filmmaking, and so like it is a weird movie to like end a franchise on it. But I'm reminded of like all franchises when they like get canceled just end on a just okay movie.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of why they end.
Exactly.
Because the quality has dipped.
Right. They're not going to invest more to in the end of it, right? Like,
no, right. You know, when Batman and Robin came out, they were like, all right, well, the next one will be better. Like, it's just over. It's over.
And they
now.
quietly backed away from the microphone.
You ruined it, and it's over. And so, but truthfully, like, this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but like, I've enjoyed the latter half of the DCEU far more than the front half. It's made me far less angry. Even though I will say, in some ways, the movies are not better. Like, they're not, but they're not as egregious to my sensibilities.
Yes.
I guess. So
100%. I agree. Yeah. The first half did. Yeah, it was offensive to my sensibilities, and but the latter half are just sort of like, they're not as good movies, but they're less offensive.
Yeah,
which is probably why they're less good movies, honestly.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're not like, there's nothing really to debate in them. Like, there's nothing really to even talk about in them apart from like, oh, that bit was cool.
Yeah, right.
But you know, in some ways, so like, I don't know if you could see him, but I've got my Sylvester Stallone Judge Dredd back here. Can you see him back there?
I do see him.
That movie's not good.
No.
Right? But it's great.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's so inoffensive as a movie. I mean, it's totally offensive to Dredd fans. It's like not a good representation of Judge Dredd at all. But like, there's nothing in it. It's just pure popcorn, Aristotle spectacle.
Right. It has no content.
Nope.
But it's a fun romp.
Right. It just like, it tells you what it is. It does its thing. It doesn't even really surprise you. Like, you ride the wave until it's over.
Yeah.
And you're like, if I was in a house where where movies were on again, I'm flipping through the channels. Oh, Aquaman 2 was on. Yeah, I'll catch it in the middle of the movie. Yeah, whatever.
Sure.
That's the kind of movie it is. But truthfully, that's a big compliment.
Right.
Like, that's a rewatchable movie. As opposed to, all right, I got to gear myself up here for this like laugh fest over here.
Right.
You know, can't wait to watch the absolute joy that is Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Are you going to be watching the extended cut of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom?
Yeah, I don't think DC's investing any money in that version,
think so.
But you could tell that there was one in there. Like, there's like bits where they're like, there's definitely more political stuff that they like left out and aside and whatever. But like, I didn't care.
Yeah,
it's fine. It's fine. It's like weirdly like the equivalent of like the early Fox Marvel movies.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know, like Daredevil and the Fantastic Four movies, and like so inoffensive in like, maybe as a comic book fan, you're like, these are not great representations in some ways, but other ways they're great.
Right.
So, but like,
not good adaptations, but they have broad appeal.
Yeah. So, but like, you flipping through the channels, I'd watch Fantastic Four from the middle, you know, like, it's fairly inoffensive. I say it's better than that. Like the quality,
understood.
A little bit better than that, but the yeah, it's just like it kind of looked like everybody was happy to be there, and well, maybe not.
Well, they were happy to be getting the money.
Yeah, right. Let's look at the thing like Harrison. Like, what was that thing that Harrison Ford was when somebody asked him that? Like,
oh yeah.
Oh, were you happy to put the Han Solo costume back on? Were you emotional? And he's like, no, it made me money.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like it made them money. Like that's okay.
Yeah.
That's working actors want to work.
Sure.
Crazy.
Sure. Wild stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I'm gonna go to it. Costumes were good.
Yeah. There it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone take a drink.
If there is a bingo card for this show, that's what it is.
That's it.
That's the middle circle, right?
Yes,
there.
everyone gets that one.
Costumes were good. Not everybody. There are times.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 3. Costumes were not good.
Yeah. True.
But Iron Man 3. Let's think about the third ones. That's what it all.
Ooh, yeah. This is only a second one, so it's
So it's fine. Costumes are still good, and we're definitely not getting a third one, so it's okay.
No.
What I do think is kind of, in a weird way, a little bit of a travesty is that, like, I look at like some of these actors, like Nicole Kidman, Patrick Wilson, like, and I'm like, you're better than this movie.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah,
you're better than this. Now they're like in it to win it in the movie that they're in. And that's fine. But, like, you're better than this.
Yeah. Who is it? I can't remember who it is. What actor? I think you told me this, that they were like, they do, like, a Marvel movie every now and then. They're like, oh, yeah, this is easy. Like, these are fun. But, like, this is,
Oh, you know what it was? It was Helen Mirren.
Okay.
She was in the second Shazam movie.
That's it.
And they were like, why are you in this movie? And she's like, this is great. You got a cool costume.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of explosions behind you. No acting required.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like,
right.
Just like go in and do your thing. This is fun.
I'm not playing the Queen. Like it's
right. Yeah, that's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like this is just like this is the equivalent of a day off. Like, on the job,
right.
Where you're like,
and getting paid for it. Yeah,
I'm making a comic book movie.
Yeah,
and for everybody around them, it's hard.
Oh yeah,
like everything. But like for a lot of acting in a comic book movie of that style is not hard. Because I'd say like sometimes like the people who are getting up at 2:30 in the morning to make sure they get enough protein in their body, they're working hard.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
people who are doing a lot of their own stunts and their fights and whatever, they're working hard.
Yes,
but the people who are like turning and swiveling to the camera and holding up their hand, they're not working
hard. Not as hard. Yeah.
No. But it doesn't matter because it's all they had good fun anyway.
Sure.
So yeah, but yeah. That's what I saw. So I think you should watch it. Like it's just like it's so inoffensive in every way, but like isn't that like I don't know. Maybe I'm so tired of things making statements. I was just really happy that this movie didn't have one.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean by that. I think it's also, where we are in our lives, the place we are in our lives where like we're dads of young, of toddlers. We're running around, chasing them around and working, and like we're tired, and maybe a little escapism is nice, so I think that where we are in the phase of life that we're in probably contributes to that of just sort of like, what, I've seen a lot of meaningful, powerful movies that I love and that I care about, but once in a while I just want a popcorn flick. Once in a while that's what I'm in the mood for.
Yeah. And I guess like one of my favorite like genres or subgenres is like a superhero movie, or a comic book movie or whatever. I don't always want to engage with it with my brain. I just want to engage with it with my heart, I guess.
Yeah, okay, that's a good way to put it. Yeah,
and truthfully, that is kind of what Aquaman gave me. Like I was able to engage with it on a purely emotional level with no intellectual prowess behind it, and I enjoyed that about it. And that's like, it sounds like a diss, but it's not. Like, 'cause that's like, at the end of the day, an 8-year-old could enjoy this in the same way. And isn't it fun the kind of escapism to bring back to the joy of like just watching an adventure movie as a child, as opposed to like thinking about like, I don't know, the hubris of superheroes and
Sure.
the weight of those decisions and stuff. Like, nah, it's just whatever. Yeah, not interested.
Yeah.
I am sometimes, but
Yeah, of
not
course,
today.
of course. But
yeah, so
you got what it sounds like. You got what you paid for. Like you
I
wanted.
did,
You wanted to relax for a couple hours,
and that's what it gave.
And
me.
that's what it gave you.
It didn't even give it to me at an annoying volume. I
Right,
cannot stress
nice.
that enough. It was a movie with explosions and fighting and whatever, and it didn't annoy me how loud it was. You can tell I'm getting older.
Yeah,
Like,
wow. Old man yells at movie.
Movies too. Well, you know what I mean. Like, it's not. You go to a Christopher Nolan movie and they all whisper, and then there's a giant explosion, and you're like, just sound mixing. Just come on, like
Totally. Yes, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I know that's not an old person complaint. That's a
legitimate
modern
complaint.
Yeah.
That's why all millennials need to have closed captions on.
Right. It's not because I'm losing my hearing. It's because the sound mixing is bad because of the way the digital file transfers. Anyway, we're getting off topic here. Frank, where can the people find us?
They can head on over to beerwithgeeks.com. They can rate and review us in Apple Podcasts or Spotify or any podcast app. You can subscribe there. You can support us at patreon.com/thoughtbubbleaudio. And you can drop us a line, say hi at beerwithgeeks@gmail.com. There's a number of ways that they can get in touch with us and support us.
Oh, very good, Frank. Well, we didn't get to talk about your thing, but oh well.
That's okay.
All right.
Yours was better.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad for you then. So until next time, cheers.
Cheers.